sometimes wonder if the White House thinks you're stupid? And do you believe Press Secretary Jay Carney really believes this?
Today, we are focusing on the savings that millions of consumers have already seen because of the health care laws, provisions that ensure Americans receive more value for their health insurance premium dollars.
Well, most Americans don't agree with Jay Carney. You've heard many horror stories right here on the record, and a new Associated Press poll shows 69% of Americans say their premiums will be going up, and 59% say their health plan's annual deductible or co-payment is increasing. Joining us is South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you, Greta. It's good to be back with you.
So, Jay Carney thinks that millions of Americans are seeing savings.
Just remarkable. There's no way in the world you can add tens of thousands of government employees, have a $400 million website, and see premiums go down and not up. As a matter of fact, when you look at the facts are simple. People in South Carolina, Mr. Hucks from Greenville, South Carolina, sent me a letter, talked to him for a little while. His premiums are going up by 75%. His deductible is going from $10,000 to $25,000, but his premiums are going from $450 to over $800 a month. If he wanted to go to a copay plan, lower deductible, $1,500 a month for a family of 4. He, his wife, and 2 kids. Premiums are skyrocketing. But the unfortunate part is premiums are about price. Deductibles, copays, and out-of-pocket expenses, those are about the cost. The costs are also exploding. And unfortunately, we're going to see more bad news once the 7 million young people do not enroll. The next year, year 2, the premiums will be based on the actuarial information, which will be dismal, which means we're going to have worse rates, not better rates.
For the life of me, I can't figure out, though, Jay Carney is a smart guy.
Yes.
And why would he put his neck out on this? I mean, maybe he's going to get lucky and somehow this miracle is going to happen the next 6 months and the price is going to come crashing down and make everyone very, flush with cash. But right now it just doesn't look that. So why is he sticking his neck out saying these things that, these great savings?
I have no idea. I can tell you this, though, that if they find a way to control the price on the front end, it only means that the cost will rise on the back end. If you can find a way to get an insurance company to provide an insurance policy that really isn't rate sufficient, it only means that somehow, some way, taxpayers will pick up the tab on the back end.
Well, that's, of course, the American taxpayers have always been very generous with the people who are sort of down and out. And as we expand things like Medicaid, quite naturally, it's going to cost more. Someone's got to pick up the cost someplace.
Well, in South Carolina alone, if we were to expand our Medicaid, we'd see another $2 billion of costs over the next 10 years. There's just no way.
Well, what do you do about those people? I assume that people in South Carolina don't want health people or people who are poor, who have health issues, not to be able to get medical care. What are you going to do about them?
I was in Mo's Corner this morning talking about this very topic, and one of the things I suggested that we could do to lower the cost of health insurance, not to talk about health care, but to lower the cost of health insurance, we could allow for competition across the state lines. We could allow for small business owners to pool their employees together with other small business owners to reduce that rate by about 25%.
Why didn't we do that? Why didn't we do that?
That's one of the failures of the pre-Obamacare world, is that we had an opportunity to address things from a free market perspective, including medical tort reform. We didn't do it. So now we're faced with the challenge of trying to reintroduce common sense into the marketplace, and it would work. We could also fund health care insurance pools in states to provide those with pre-existing conditions with more opportunities. And the challenges get worse, because the fact of the matter is that if you're in a group plan, pre-existing conditions are easily absorbed into a large group plan. When you're in an individual market, there is no group, so you have to pay exceedingly higher rates to find your insurance, and that's going to be the challenge. That, coupled with out-of-pocket expenses going from $6,000 or so to as high as $12,000, only means those folks who cannot afford insurance, they get the free health care checkup, but they can't take care of the challenges that they find within that checkup. What do we do next? What do they do next?
There is a heartbreaker. But let me ask you about something else. I want to talk to you about the bipartisan budget bill. The Senate is to vote on it this week, I think tomorrow. And under this bill, military retirement benefits will be cut by $6 billion over the next 10 years. So, is it going to pass the Senate?
I think it probably passes the Senate. I'm watching and listening to my colleagues on the floor just now when we were voting. It seems like the votes to get beyond cloture, the 60-vote threshold, will happen, which means that you only need 51 for the underlying bill. The real challenge is if you're a young guy, you sign up for the military, you're 18, 19 years old, you get a promise. That promise says that we're going to do what we're going to do for the next rest of your life. You retire at 42. You start looking for America to honor the promise. And we say, we made a promise, but we're going to break that promise by changing your retirement benefit. And for a 42-year-old E7 enlisted man, he loses about $75,000 in the next 20 years.